All right, today we're going to cut through all the noise about online learning and look at the hard data behind one of the biggest platforms on the planet. Forget opinions, forget guesswork, we're just going to follow the numbers and map out the true scale of this digital universe. Let's dive in.
So let's start with a simple question for you. We all know online learning is big, right? But can you actually picture what big even means here? What does that scale really truly look like when you boil it all down to a single number? It looks like this. Over 4.2 billion, with a B, that is the total number of student enrollments on just this one platform as of late 2024. This isn't just some big number on a slide. It's proof of a fundamental global shift in how we learn, how we teach, and how we share knowledge. It's kind of mind-blowing. To even begin to wrap our heads around a number that large, we have to stop thinking about it like a website. It's not. We need to see it for what it actually is. A massive living ecosystem with billions of moving parts. And when I say ecosystem, I'm not just throwing a buzzword at you. I mean, it's alive and it's always changing. This isn't some static library of courses just sitting there. It's a dynamic network where instructors, students, and subjects all influence each other. You know, student demand for a new skill directly shapes what courses get made next. It's this incredibly powerful feedback loop. So if this thing is a massive digital world, we're going to need a map, right? So let's try to map out the main, let's call them continents or subject areas that make up this sprawling digital campus. Okay, so from a bird's eye view, the whole platform is basically organized into 4 major groups or cohorts. You've got the hard skills over in tech, you've got professional development stuff under productivity, all your passion projects in lifestyle, and then the more traditional learning in academics. This is our first peek at the landscape. And if we zoom in a bit, we can see what's inside each of those continents. Cohort A, well, that's the undisputed powerhouse of professional tech skills. Cohort B is all about getting ahead in your career and personal life. Cohort C, that covers everything from hobbies like photography to wellness, and Cohort D is where you'll find the more traditional academic subjects. All right, now that we have the map, let's zoom in, like way in. Let's go from that 30,000-foot view right down to the ground level. Because every ecosystem has its giants, you know? The individuals who have this outsized impact. Let's look at a couple of the platform's superstar instructors and see what their success looks like in raw numbers. First up is Phil Ebener. Now, to put this in perspective for you, having over 3 million students means his personal student body is larger than the entire population of Chicago. Just think about that. That's the incredible reach that's possible inside this ecosystem. And just look at this momentum. This isn't a static number. This thing's a rocket ship. Between just January and August of 2025, he added almost 200,000 new students. That is like enrolling the entire student body of a massive state university in just 8 months. Wild.
Okay, next up, let's look at Chris Harone. He's another one of these giants, but he's in a totally different space, financial education. He's built a whole empire teaching really complex business and finance concepts.
And his growth curve is just as steep. In that same 8-month period, he also added over 200,000 students. And this is important. It proves that Phil Ebener's success, it's not some random fluke. There are multiple creators out there achieving this level of explosive university-scale growth all at the same time. So we've seen the sheer scale, and we've met the superstars. But what's actually driving all this incredible growth? What do the numbers tell us about the engine itself? Like, where is the most energy in this ecosystem right now? And this is where things get really, really interesting. If you look at growth rates over a 10-month span, a top tech instructor grew by about 11%. Solid. But look over at the lifestyle category. A health and fitness instructor grew at a super competitive 9% in that same period. The percentages are way closer than you might expect. And here's what those percentages mean in actual people. The tech instructor gained 37,000 students. The health instructor gained 23,000. So yeah, the tech engine is bigger, no doubt. But the lifestyle engine is still incredibly powerful. Both of them are pulling in new students at a massive rate. This really gets to the heart of the matter. The data confirms what we probably already suspected. Tech is a monster category. But it also shows that the demand for these passion-driven topics is incredibly strong, with growth that can seriously compete with even the biggest professional fields. Okay, so we've seen the map, we've met the giants, and we've peeked inside the growth engine. So what does this all mean for the future of learning? and maybe for anyone out there looking to make their own mark in this digital world. Let's just boil this all down to 4 key things. First, the scale is astronomical. The market is almost unimaginably huge. Second, individual creators, individual people can build audiences bigger than major universities. Third, while tech is definitely dominant, powerful growth is happening everywhere. And finally, and this is a big one, success isn't about one viral hit, it's about that steady, compounding, month-over-month growth we just saw in the data.
And that leaves us with this one last question to think about. We've seen the scale, the speed, the opportunity. The numbers prove what's possible. But in a world with 4 billion enrollments and millions of new students joining every single month, what does it truly take to stand out? What does it take to find your audience and make a genuine impact? That's the real question this data forces us to ask.